and which talks about content. And that's a whole nother segment. I'm sure we could spend a whole session just talking about content creation and cross-purposing your content. But let's talk about podcasting. You have a really successful eco podcast. For those who are keen to start their own podcast, firstly, what are the advantages of podcasting over, say, a YouTube channel? And then what's involved in running your own regular podcast?
Yep, for sure. So besides not having to do your makeup and being able to record a podcast episode in your pajamas or gym gear, I think they're the two biggest advantages of podcast over YouTube. But I'm joking. Really, I find that people listen in to podcasts more when they're on the go. So when they're driving, walking, they're in the gym, they're cleaning the house, they're commuting. Podcasts are great because they don't have to be glued to a screen. They can still digest content without having to watch a screen. I mean, of course, you can listen to a YouTube thing as well, but I just find podcasts are a lot easier. You don't have to be on YouTube. You can just be on a podcast app into your phone. And I don't want to discount video and YouTube. I think video is still the best way to connect with people, like what we're doing right now. You can see my face, you can see my mannerisms, you can hear my voice. You're getting to know me and look at me and Julia as well. You're getting to know us better than any other way possible. But podcasting, you've still got your voice in someone's ear, and the voice, and people can still connect to your voice, especially if they're auditory learners, in almost as good a way as video. So I still think video is probably got the biggest advantages there, but podcasting has definitely got that. It's just so much more portable, and I love that. The other big advantage of podcasting is that podcasting platforms like iTunes, they're really still largely devoid of algorithms that you need to beat. So in an online business, you're always trying to beat the Google algorithms, the Gmail algorithms to get your emails in the inbox, not the spam box. You want to be beating the Facebook algorithms. You want to be in people's news feed, and that's getting harder and harder all the time. At the moment, it's still a level playing field in iTunes. So when I launched EcoChat in 2015, it went to number 1 in its category in iTunes. It was right up alongside some podcasts from really big production houses. This was a podcast I was producing from my lounge room in a town in outback South Australia, like a 3,000 people town, with the next town was like 200 kilometres away. So I was self-produced from my lounge room up in the number 1 spot next to those around the world. And when you're hanging out in the top spots, you're more visible, and other podcast listeners can easily find you as well. So you just don't have those algorithms that you've got to beat. I think that alone, and the portability is a big advantage of podcasting. What's involved, it really is very similar to any other type of producing regular content for your online business. So much like a YouTube channel or a blog, but with podcasting, you're editing audio files, or you can pay someone else to edit them. You're interviewing guests if you want to feature guests on your show. And also you might want to provide a transcription of the episode or the interview, and having a written version of that available on your website for people who like to skim read. Because again, not everyone wants to listen. Some people just want to skim the transcription. That's repurposing your content as well. And the number 1 reason I like to do that and provide that on my website is for SEO purposes. By having all those words there and keywords there, that's bringing traffic to my website as well through Google. So I'm getting the traffic from iTunes, but the transcription of it on my website is getting that traffic from Google as well. So that's why I love podcasting. I can do an episode in my messy house, in my pajamas, and no one knows, and people can listen to it on the go. I'm a consumer of podcasts myself more than videos. It's how I learn, and I just love it. I really do.